Today, we're diving deep into something fascinating. And let's be honest, something very, very human. Why are we so drawn to conspiracy theories? I mean, think about it. What if everything you've been told isn't the whole story? What if there's something else going on, just beneath the surface? Like a hidden group, a handful of powerful people secretly pulling all the strings. And they've got this secret plan that explains everything? See, even just hearing those questions, there's a part of your brain that perks up, right? It's intriguing. That little spark of what if? That's exactly what we're going to explore. So, at their very core, conspiracy theories are so compelling because they're just fantastic stories. They take these huge, chaotic, confusing events and they weave them into a single, clear narrative. Instead of that messy, uncomfortable truth of, well, we just don't know, they give you a much simpler, much more powerful story. Here's what's really going on. You see, when something big and shocking happens, a national tragedy, a crisis, it creates what psychologists call a psychological gap. Our brains just absolutely hate uncertainty. It feels unsafe. So we have this deep instinctual need to fill that void with an explanation, literally any explanation, as fast as we possibly can.
And this isn't some kind of modern glitch in our thinking. Oh no, this is an ancient feature. Our brains are hardwired to be pattern detection machines. It's a tool that comes straight from our ancestors' survival kit.
Just think about it. Thousands of years ago, out on the savannah, if you heard a rustle in the bushes, what was the safer bet? Assuming it's just the wind or assuming it's a predator? Well, the folks who assumed it was a predator were the ones who survived to pass on their genes. It was always safer to assume there was a secret plan than to risk it being just a coincidence. And that wiring is still with us. And this really gets to the heart of it all. On one side, you have randomness. To our brains, that just feels chaotic, unsatisfying, and fundamentally unsafe. But on the other side, you have a structured story, even a scary story about some secret mastermind. Well, to our ancient brain, that sense of order, that feeling that someone is in control, will always feel safer than chaos. But it's not just about making sense of the world out there. There's also this incredibly powerful social and emotional reward that comes with it all. That feeling that you've got access to secret information, that you're in on it. Believing in a conspiracy theory makes you feel special, like an insider. You're not just another person getting the official story. No, you're one of the few who sees the real story. That feeling of having special knowledge literally gives you a little dopamine hit. It can create this incredible sense of community with other believers. And maybe most importantly, it gives all your frustration and fear a specific target, a villain to blame. And this can become something really profound. I mean, when people feel powerless in their own lives, maybe it's economic, maybe it's social, these theories can act as a kind of psychological shield. And here's the crucial, if kind of strange, comfort in that. Think about this quote. If powerful, hidden forces control everything, then your struggles aren't your fault. Suddenly, the world isn't just chaotic and unfair, it's being controlled. And in a weird way, that can feel better. So, okay, we've got these deep psychological tendencies that have been part of the human experience for thousands of years. And then, bam! Along came the internet and social media, which basically poured rocket fuel on that ancient fire. So here's how it works. Social media algorithms are literally designed to find and promote content that gets a huge emotional reaction from you. And outrage and fear are engagement superstars. So the more shocking a theory is, the more the algorithm pushes it. You see it again and again and again. That repetition creates familiarity, and our brains have this funny little shortcut. If something feels familiar, well, it starts to feel true. So, after all of this, the most important thing to remember is that being drawn to these ideas doesn't mean someone is dumb. Not at all. It just means they're human. The search for meaning, a healthy suspicion of power, the love of a good story, these are all baked into who we are. And here's the beautiful irony in all this. That same curious part of our brain that can get us lost down a rabbit hole, that's the exact same part that leads to incredible scientific breakthroughs and real discovery. It all just comes down to how we aim that curiosity. So, the next time you come across a theory that feels really compelling, that just clicks, try this simple little toolkit. First, just pause, take a breath. Then ask yourself two simple questions. Is this giving me actual verifiable evidence, or is it giving me a really, really good story? Telling the two apart is everything. Ultimately, it forces us to ask ourselves this final, pretty huge question. When we go looking for answers in the world, what are we really after? Are we searching for the messy, complicated, often unsatisfying truth? Or are we actually just searching for the simple comfort of certainty? Because as we've seen, those two things are definitely not always the same. And just understanding why our minds work this way, why we're drawn to these ideas, that is the single biggest step we can take toward thinking more clearly about everything. Hey, if this explainer got you thinking or brought a little clarity to a pretty confusing topic, do us a favor and hit that like button. It honestly really helps us out. And we'd love to hear what you think. Head down to the comments and let us know, why do you think people are so drawn to these secret explanations? And of course, if you're into deep dives like this one, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, stay curious, but stay critical.